Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 76 of the Nomads of Fantasy. I'm your host, Brandon, and I'm also here with Dave.
What's a bad miracle? They got a word for that? Nope.
And Eric.
This dream you're chasing, where you end up at the top of the mountain, all eyes on you, it's a dream you never wake up from.
Yeah, what was up with that line? That was a good one. Yeah, we're talking about, these are quotes from the movie Nope. This is a newer movie as the time of this recording, so Jordon Peele just came out with this. I know a lot of people haven't seen it, so we'll be very careful as we discuss this movie. So we'll probably hold off on spoilers for a while, and then we'll probably go into big plot points that could ruin it for people who don't want it to be ruined. So, but yeah, Nope. What a great movie to end the month on. And then we're going to be going into November. Dave, you probably have the schedule in front of you for this. What's going on next?
We got all sorts of good movies coming out next month. Reviewing next month. Starting with Knives Out. Week 2, we're going into The Northman. Week 3 is Willow. And then the last week of the month, we have a little topic that we're trying out this month. It's going to be called Ask a Nomad, where we will be kind of taking questions from listeners, questions from the internet, and, talking about stuff. So should be a fun month. Yeah, absolutely.
Could be anything too. That's what I'm excited about is, it could be off topic. Doesn't have to be related to what we talk about normally, like video games, movies, TV, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Literally be any question that you wanted to ask us, or, you want to know, or it could just be a random question off the top of your head.
It could be, could be your rankings, could be anything. So Eric, how would they get a hold of us and ask us some of those questions?
Well, good transition there, but
Hey.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Nomads of Fantasy. Also, it would probably be best if you want to ask us a question for the Ask a Nomad episode to join our Discord at thenomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. And I also had the idea of putting out just like a simple Google form or something that people could submit questions to as well. I'll probably post that on Twitter and in our Discord as well. So follow us on all of those social platforms. We'd love to chat with you. Hop in the Discord.
Sweet. And I want some weird questions, so bring it, internet.
Bring it on.
Is it one of those things where if they ask the question, you have to answer?
I think so, as long as it's not.
Okay.
I mean, we'll
racist,
weed them out.
Stupid
Okay.
shit, but yeah,
exactly.
Just asking. Okay.
We had the idea of come up with questions for each other too, so that'll be fun.
Well, that's fun. Well, that's cool. I'm excited for that. So yeah, so that's November, and I think we have a couple of things for December that we're looking at. I think Bahubali 2, I think, is definitely in there because I still think about that movie. If you haven't seen it, it's just a wild Tollywood movie, right? Tollywood, I think that one was. Yeah, that was really fun. If you haven't listened to that one, please, or watched that movie, please go watch it. It's a 2-parter, and we are going to see the second part, but that's going to come in December. But anywho, we're talking about Nope right now, so let's take a break and Act 1, and then we'll transition to Act 2. We'll go down to the ranch and figure out what's going on out there when we get back. All right, welcome back. Welcome to my ranch where we raise horses. This is a great spot for nomads, man. You can get on these things, and I don't know, who doesn't like a horse, right? I love horses.
Yeah.
And I was happy to see a movie that has horses in it. But yeah, I honestly, I went in this movie not knowing anything. I just saw from the promo pictures who's in it, and I saw like mountains and that's about it. So that was all I knew.
I didn't really know much either. It's just like I didn't even really know the main actors except for Steven Yeun from Walking Dead.
I knew
essentially.
Daniel Kaluuya because I saw Get Out from Jordan Peele's first movie.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You haven't seen
Black
any
Panther.
of Jordan Peele's other
Nope.
movies, have
This
you,
was
Dave?
my first Jordan Peele movie.
Dude, you got to watch the other two.
Really?
Holy shit! Did this movie kind of fucking melt my brain? It was good.
You got to see
So
Get Out.
good. Yeah, it's definitely on the list now.
Well, so Brandon, since you've seen the other two, how would you rank Nope compared to Get Out and Us?
Get Out, Nope, Us.
I could see it. I almost want to put Nope at the top for me. I haven't seen Get Out since it first came out, but it's very, very close. But I agree.
Okay.
I enjoyed Us, but
We'll unpack that. Yeah.
that's towards the bottom for sure.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
went into
I
this
liked Us,
completely
but
blind
I
as well.
just yeah.
That's the way you got to go into this movie. Just go in blind.
That's
not
how you go
knowing
into every movie.
anything. Yeah. That's
Honestly,
the best
I
way to
didn't.
do it.
I mean, knowing that Jordan Peele is doing his movies have been thriller-based movies. You know, like I guess sci-fi of some kind. Is kind of expected. But what I will say about this movie is it looks really good. Like,
Hell yeah.
he's starting to really get. I feel like the last two movies looked great, but the camera work was so like the scenes were so long. You know, he really set you in those moments, and I really got attached to these characters, even though it was actually kind of moving fast at times. But there were moments where it just moved really slow, and I really appreciated his camera work.
Even some of like the aerial shots that they're doing taking like drone footage and all sorts of crazy stuff. CG was solid. Like we won't go into any spoilers, but it was, you can't really tell the difference. A lot of practical effects. They're using horses and real animals in the movie. So
yeah, the setting itself lends itself well to like great cinematography, like you said, with the ranch setting and everything. The wide open shots, wide open spaces, wide open skies, all that stuff looks really, really good.
And the sound. It sounded great.
The sound.
I watched this with headphones, and I'm so glad.
Creepy shit. Yeah, I watched it on the OLED, and like this, the sharpness on it is just kind of nasty. But yeah, the sound design in it plays a big part into the story as well. But the crazy sounds that they come up with, whether they're people, animals, or whatever, adds a real creepiness to a lot of the scenes.
Sound and music.
Paired with the music as well. Yeah. This was the same guy, Michael Abels, who worked with Jordan Peele on Get Out and Us. So they've had some experience together. So they know what they're doing when they got to this movie, because the music, cool. The music and sound work together so well in this movie.
Yep.
Nope. It's gonna be happening all episodes.
Yeah, I do like that they use that a lot. The nope line throughout the movie. That was good for various reasons.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough to talk about this movie without putting in spoilers or like getting in anything into the plot, but
we can get into it. I mean, other than that, I think we all approve of this movie. We really liked it. It seems like Eric really liked it, and I think we need to dig in why. So that's going to expose a lot of the story here. So I would say this is your chance to go watch the movie.
It only came out 3 months ago too, so I'm assuming either people had seen it in theaters or it just got its digital release, I think within the last month or so.
Yeah, very recent.
So it's very fresh. But yeah, I highly recommend anybody. I don't want people to listen to the spoilers. I want somebody to watch the movie fresh and have it all happen to them. I guess to them is probably the correct verb there. Because it is an experience. Like, I think that a lot of that is with horror. Like, I don't want to call it a horror movie. I don't know. What is it? You called it a thriller.
There's horror. There's definitely horror elements for sure.
Yeah.
There's sci-fi elements, there's horror elements, there's a lot of stuff going on.
I watched it by myself, but I appreciate what what I experienced just by listening to headphones. It was actually really fun. But I also wish I watched it with my wife. I think this is a movie my wife could have watched. Honestly, I don't think it's that scary.
I did the same
So-
thing. Like I watched it by myself, but I want to watch it again with my wife because I think she would like it too.
Yeah, but Dave
See,
did
I
watch.
made the wife watch it with me. 'Cause usually when we watch movies for review, unless it's something that I know she's not gonna like,
Okay,
like I make her watch Bahubali and all those crazy movies that we watch. But
she liked it.
this was, yeah, I could tell. Saying this is how I usually my barometer. A, how long does it take her to fall asleep?
Or
Usually, I know that it's boring.
or puts the phone
B,
down.
is she on her phone the entire time? Is the other one, and she literally did not fall asleep, and her phone was in her lap the entire time, and she was just kind of enraptured by you get sucked into the plot here, and it kind of it's slow at some parts, and it when the action picks up or there's a tense scene, like you're in the moment, and shit is so intense that you can't look away. Like I had to go get a drink, and I'm just sitting there on the edge of my seat just waiting for the scene to end, just trying to get as much as I can out of it. But
It's a decent,
definitely a good one to watch with your significant other.
decent runtime too. Like it's a little over 2 hours, but this is one of those movies where you don't really feel it. Like there's some slowish parts, but I think it keeps moving along. Like the pacing is really, really good. And I definitely never got bored when I was watching this movie.
It just flew by for me. It did not seem like it was 2 hours long. It kind of zipped, which is kind of weird. I thought, I'm looking at the budget in the box office. Budget was 68 million and it made 170, and I thought it would have done better for like the quality and
There's
a
mixed
the originality
opinion on
of
this
it.
movie though. I was looking into, and
What?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, and
I've seen some mixed reviews out there as well. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it has like an 84 or something at Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. But yeah, some people are disappointed. There's like headlines about like, is this a box office failure or something like that? I don't think so. But who gives
No.
a fucking shit? Honestly, a good
also
movie
gotta
will
think-
find its way to the top.
This
And I
movie
think it
was
a good movie.
This movie was produced during the pandemic and released at the tail end of the pandemic. So like
Yeah.
that has to factor in some way for sure, especially
Sure.
at box office numbers.
Yep.
But just the, I don't know, I want to highlight, like, yes, it is a summer thriller kind of movie. I guess that would fall into that category because it came out in July, so I don't know. But the originality of the movie and the unique ideas, the unique storytelling that's in this movie is, I don't know. I think it's fantastic. It's great to see, new directors coming up with original stories and telling these stories themselves in the way that they picture it, in the way that they envision it. So,
Well, it says so
I don't
much that Jordon Peele wrote, directed, and produced this movie.
yeah,
He did it all. Like this is his movie. All of his movies have been like that. These are his projects that he has in his head that he just wants to make, and he does it.
Love it.
and it's people, I would think, because I hadn't seen a Jordan Peele movie yet before, and Key and Peele was something on the complete opposite spectrum of the shit that he's
it's
making
crazy.
in the movies.
I mean, Robin
So
Williams and Jim Carrey are ridiculous comedians, just as silly, and they can do hardcore drama. So, and Adam Sandler can do it too.
Sure.
So I mean, why can't somebody become a director and do it instead? Because he's not in his movies; he's just directing them, and it is so. It's awesome to see though, because he do in his head like, all right, what is this gonna be, more comedy? But it's not. There is comedy, but he does thriller so well, and that's why you got to watch the other two movies that he's done. Because
they're definitely up there now.
isn't it fun seeing these directors coming up? You got Eggers, right? You got the guy who did oh god, who did The Island? The Lighthouse.
That was Eggers.
Yeah, and then who did Midsummer?
The the hell was his name? We just talked about him.
Ari Aster.
That's it. Ari Aster. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And Jordan Peele are three names that I like. I'm really making me enjoy this thriller, borderline horror genre that they're doing. These movies are just very refreshing and more or less deliver at the end. And yeah, this is just Jordan Peele's third movie.
I love that these up and coming directors, like you know when there's their names attached to something, like it's gonna be good, and you're gonna want to see it. And like they, especially all of those guys you just named, they're developing their own directorial style. Like they're becoming auteurs essentially, and they have their own style of filmmaking that they're going with, and it's working.
They're all influenced by like Hitchcock or something like that, and I love it because if you watch a Hitchcock movie, you see, dude. All right, before I forget, did you guys see the shot at the end of this movie, the Akira bike slide?
Yeah,
oh my god, dude, I fucking love that. That was so cool when that happened.
Did the DiCaprio like point at the screen thing. I'm like, oh my god, they did it. Oh, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, and I know it's cool to see. It's just cool to see, like, because Jordan Peele did the Twilight Zone remakes, and like,
yeah,
those were cool in their own, and you can see like he respects the cool things that came before him, but is also building on them with like this one had I don't know, it had some crude language, and like you wouldn't find that in like some
true
studio films or stuff like that. Like he's making the movies that he wants to make.
Yep.
He's making them his way, which he's got a style to it, and good for him and sticking with it. He's got the tools and he's got the talent.
Mm-hmm.
As
100%.
As one Winston Zedmore would say.
Should we get into spoilers?
I kind of want to.
Let's do it.
I think we're there. I don't know how much else we can
break
say
the
without
seal.
getting into spoilers.
Let's break the seal on this bad boy.
Yep. Put in this timestamp.
So when this
you gotta do.
So when this movie started, right, I was like, all right, I'm gonna like this, and then the opening shot and the sound coming in, I was like, I'm very confused. I hear it sounds like a family and like kids laughing.
Yeah.
And
it sounded
I'm
like a
seeing
sitcom.
logos coming through. Yeah, it had like this dated sound. I'm like, okay, so something weird, like we're watching a video, something happened. And then it just eventually gets to the scene of like people are screaming or something like that. The sound cuts out, and then it opens up, and it shows a chimpanzee on a
covered
stage,
in blood,
covered blood everywhere, feet everywhere, shoes and stuff, and it just sits down and it starts poking the person, and I was like, what? And you hear this breathing of somebody that's watching it, and I'm like, what is this? I had to rewind it. I did it 2 times. I was like, I'm sorry, hold on, wait. What is the significance of this? I was trying to crack the code and not just accept.
You can't crack it that early.
But I was caught off guard, is what I'm trying to say. I was just like, what? Oh, wow, what a start.
I love movies that do this. Is like they open up with a scene, like you said, you don't know
Pan's Labyrinth,
what the significance of it is. Yeah. Like it seems unrelated to anything in the movie, but then as the movie goes on and then they go back to it in the future and like all the pieces start to fall into place. There was a lot of that throughout this movie. Like a lot of little
this
things.
First scene, this is I think one of the main recurring themes of the entire movie, I guess really is, I guess we're into the spoiler territory, but like you can't control a wild animal. Like that's the thing, is that like animals have their own rules and you have to abide by them. So we can get into more of that later once we talk about stuff, but that's looking back on it, that's a very poignant scene to start with.
Well, they showed in that first scene they showed the shoe standing up, and I was trying to think of myself what the significance of the shoe was throughout the entire movie. And like I couldn't think of anything as I was watching it, but I was reading a little bit before this about like Jordan Peele and like the symbolism and everything. And apparently it was like supposed to represent, because they talk about bad miracles in this movie.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
So like such a a horrible situation that was happening, but then the shoe standing up is just something so like out of the blue and random that you have, you don't see. And it's like a miracle that it's happening, but it's in this such a bad situation. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't know. I don't know. That didn't really land for me, I guess, the symbolism of that shoe, but that was just something that I noticed. I'm like, what is up with this shoe? But whatever, because that was one of the first things they show in the movie during that whole chimpanzee scene.
I didn't really catch that in the beginning. I saw it like in the later when Steven Yeun, or Jupe as he's known in this movie, he's got it in like his little memorial back room or whatever of his.
What was that room about?
He's got like a little
clearly
I don't know what I want
traumatized,
to call it.
and obsessed with it.
But at the same time, he's using that horrible situation to capitalize on it and make money.
Oh, of course.
I don't know. He's using it to his own advantage at the same time, which is kind of like another theme of this movie is, capitalizing on horrible things, or, just the capitalist nature of things. So, where do we want to go? There's so much.
There's so many things. There's so many things I want to talk about, but I don't want to brush over the fact that Keith David is in this movie for a hot minute, man.
He's dad.
He's Pops and
Otis Senior.
Otis Senior, man, and oh man, I was really pumped when I saw him in this movie because it's just that guy's great. He's from movies and video games. Like, he's a great actor. That guy needs to be in more video games. Now that I say it, I mean, I know he's been in a lot, but put him in more. While we have him, and it was great seeing him because I like the other actor, Daniel Kaluuya. Is that how you say his last name? Kaluuya,
yeah, something like that.
But anyway, OJ, I don't know, I really like that. And when the thing happens, like, I got not chills, but I just like, there it is, that's the thing, this is gonna be like the hook. Like, what was that sound? Well, why does power go out?
Dude,
like, what are all these little things? And these are the things I love nibbling on.
It's
to figure out
that's
what
I was talking
to.
about. Like, just these little things throughout the movie. You don't know what's happening. Like, it opens up with OJ when we first see him.
Damn it.
Like, he's looking up at the sky and he just hears this screaming, like, coming from all around him. And then these just metal objects are falling from the sky.
I thought it was like an airplane was because the power went out. Then like, an EMP happened and all the power went out across the planet or something, or at least the area. And an airplane must have been going by and they're all screaming. But there's so many clouds in that scene that you don't see the airplane. That's what I was.
It's funny because that's what they say in the movie, like in the movie itself, to say like that was the explanation.
That's how he died.
Right. That like a plane was going down and shit was falling from the plane.
But like things, I thought they were like those things that were falling from the sky were like sizzling when they hit the ground or whatever. But eventually, Dad dies or whatever, and it's a nickel.
It's hitting the eye with a nickel.
Like, was he looking up and it hit him in the eye? That's what.
Yeah, because you can see he was on the horse looking out at the ranch and like just like taking in the sky and the clouds and everything. So he was like, his head was angled up, and then
we heard like the screaming and
yep,
yeah, and then like after you see like the key stuck in the back of the horse's
butt. Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? That's you're like you said, that's the cool thing. Like, they throw all these things out there to you, and then over the course of the movie, they slowly explain the hows and the whys. And
that's how you set up a movie: is you set up the mystery first, and then it goes away for a little bit, but then it starts to resurface, and it adds more detail throughout, and you get more and more clues as you watch the movie.
Yeah,
the way he builds on the mystery is so well done.
Not a lot of dialogue, slow shots, long shots, but a lot is done. And this is when you know that somebody knows what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, it's great. It's a great mystery early on. You're starting to know the characters. You know that there's a sister that's not showing up, but eventually she does, because they're doing like the whole kind of learning how to do the job of Pops and stuff like that. But which is fine. I don't think I've seen her in anything. Maybe I have. She seems like a new face to me.
Keke Palmer, yeah, she's been,
But
she's been in some stuff.
Absolutely fucking fantastic in this. I think she kind of stole the show. Him and like her and Daniel, like Daniel, you can tell he's like the more quiet, reserved, like hardworking, taking after dad.
It's usually
kind
how
of
he
silly.
plays his roles in his movies. I've noticed he's really
Well,
good
it's
at
like
it.
the dichotomy of the two siblings.
Yeah.
Essentially, like he's the quiet, hard, reserved, working one, and she's like the crazy, like
Yep.
go get it done, flashy, flamboyant kind of kid.
Well, I loved
They're complete polar opposites of each other.
I loved it in their, the first gig they got with their horses for that commercial in the beginning. Like OJ begins, like he's like, well, it's time to do the safety, the safety check or safety protocol. And he starts to do it, and like everybody's talking over him. Nobody could hear him. It's like, louder in the back. But then his sister comes in, and she's like, all right, here we go. This is, she's telling the whole backstory of the company and everything. So that right there set up their two distinct personalities.
I love that whole, just because you know that Peele is a fan of cinema, and to just kind of call this out, like this moment in history, and tie it into his movie. And by God, one hell of a logo that this family has, dude.
Right?
I loved it. I thought it was
Triple
great.
H.
The Triple H, but because it's Heywood
Hollywood Horses.
Hollywood Horses.
Yeah.
Heywood Hollywood Horses, and then the H's are all connected, and they wave like film.
Mm-hmm.
The throwback to how it was like the original, the first footage put together, or something like that, was like of a
Edward
horse.
Maybridge's Animal Locomotion, very first assembly of photographs used to create a motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Black man on a horse.
And so they're saying that, like that was a Heywood, the jockey in that was a Heywood, and we're still in cinema today. We're part of history, and we're continuing and all that stuff. I thought it was great, like to just to have that thing in history and tie it into these fictional characters and tell this story. I love when movies can do this.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it
It's
grounded.
believable.
Believable.
It's definitely
Yeah.
believable. It makes sense.
with the mystery of like, why do I need to know this? Why are they so special, right? And then what the hell just happened with Pops and all that stuff that killed him? Was it just like an airplane? What's going on? So I don't know. That so much is set up in the first half hour with the characters, but it's a ride.
That horse scene again kind of reiterates how people don't respect the animal. People like he's asking people not to look the horse in the eye. He's asking them to like stop, not yell, and be quiet around the animal because the animal has its own set of rules, and you have to follow by those rules. And the guy that I forget what that ball thing that he puts in front of the horse's face or what, I don't know what that's used for in movies. I don't know if that's a lighting thing or
I don't know if it was a strobe light or some.
Or it's like
it looked reflective.
Mm-hmm.
like what is it in photography where we have like the white and the gray card to kind of balance your blacks and your whites and stuff like that. I thought it was something like that, but it had a mirror on the other side.
Yeah,
and it puts it right in the horse's face. Horse sees his own reflection and
Freaks
kicks. And it kind of, I don't know. It also, I don't know. It's got a little bit of commentary because you see him like they obviously get fired from the job, but you see him rolling in like the green screen horse, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like a little jab at like how CG is replacing a lot of like actual live actors and work and stuff like that too, which is
100%. Because I mean that's the whole plot of the movie is that their family business is failing because, like we see it in the commercial, they just replace. As soon as there's something goes awry with the horse, they just were like, "Nah, you're fired. Bring in the CG horse." And so they need to, their family business is failing, so they need to come up with something else to make money, and that's where the whole, basically the entire plot of the rest of the movie comes in. If we want to get into it, but I mean, not sure
because they're running out of money, so he's gonna start selling horses essentially.
Right. Yeah. Which we see that has been selling his horses to Jupiter, which is Steven Yeun's character. He has like I don't even know what you call it, it's like a theme park, Western theme park.
Yeah. Which is honestly, yeah. Why? You know what? Why don't we just go over what the story is real quick, and then actually talk about some of these moments, the big parts, like because like yeah, now once you figure out what that mystery is, it starts to become kind of like not like Jaws, but like
It's a
they
monster
could.
movie.
What's that?
It ends up being like a monster movie, kind of.
It's a monster movie, but they could have done things like, but they wanted to keep it for themselves.
I didn't think this movie was going the way it did because well,
Right?
their whole goal is to get rich off capturing whatever this is in the sky that OJ sees the one night, which he thinks it's a UFO. So that's their whole idea, to like get rich, get famous, and save the business essentially. But yeah, I thought this movie was going in like a completely different direction. I wasn't thinking that's what was gonna, that was the whole goal of the movie, but it was interesting. Like, I just thought it was gonna be your stereotypical like horror monster movie where they're trying to constantly run away from it, but they're trying to like actually engage with it, get it, draw it out, so they could capture this moment, so they could use it for themselves.
Which makes it's like an interesting twist on like the monster. Like, I don't know, it's an original idea, and it's an absolutely original story because I've never seen anything like this. But yeah, he sees the UFO, and essentially they go to Fry's Electronics and get a whole bunch of like surveillance stuff. And that's where we meet Angel, who is another one of the main characters in the movie, which I thought he was a good guy. He's just trying to help out.
I liked Angel's character.
He's a little
he was definitely more
when he
like
was first introduced.
It's like a comedic relief a little bit,
Yeah. For sure.
But he was a good side character.
I like that they assembled a team in this movie. I like that concept. I didn't see that. Yeah, like I didn't see any of this coming.
It was really funny because the thing I loved about Angel is because at first they didn't want him on their team at all. Like, he was like, yeah, they were trying to shove him out the door after he set up the cameras, and he's like, oh, I could monitor them remotely for you at free of charge. And they're like, no, we don't want you to do that. Like, they didn't want him to be involved with their plan, and they didn't want him to know what was going on with the UFO and everything. So, but then he does anyways, and that's how he kind of gets involved with it, and he just kind of falls into this thing, and they work together with him.
Which, cause it's that one night scene, the first night scene where he sees the UFO, or when they have the surveillance.
Well, that was when the bug was on.
Up.
The bug was blocking the camera, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that
OJ
is
goes
like
out looking for the horse. He's looking for Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
Have like their own chapters.
Yeah, I was going to say. Cool. That's another thing I like about the movie is they have the chapters with each of the, the horses, and it's like a, I don't even know it's like. It's a good way to break up the story and break up the plot in separate sections. But yeah, I thought that was really cool how they did that.
Holy shit, it's real.
I don't know what you're doing here, but it was illegal for you to spy on us like that.
Wait, you don't know? Okay, tell me when you see it.
There. Doesn't move.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Yeah, okay. I went back and scrubbed through the footage.
But yeah, that's essentially how they figure out that like
at least since I set
the cloud doesn't move.
Yeah, no,
essentially because Angel's remote monitoring.
That was
see
dope.
The cloud doesn't move.
I thought that was cool because it had me guessing. And when they show you that, I'm like, oh, what a cool concept.
I don't know how you wouldn't notice that though in real life. Like you're just standing out on the phone.
I mean,
how often do you look up and stare at the clouds?
Yeah. Would you ever think
I don't
to
know
see it?
If I lived on a ranch, I don't know, all the time. There's nothing else to look at. It's just a big open field with horses in it. You see mountains and you see clouds. But
So what was happening in that one scene though when OJ did go out with the first encounter and he goes out looking for ghosts at night and he, this is when the praying mantis is on the camera and all this stuff. But when he was alone, he saw like lights or something like that.
This is Jupiter's whole Starlight Lasso show. He's using, because at this point, Jupiter knows about the UFO. He's using it to his advantage to get rich off this show that he's producing. He's having people pay to come and get a glimpse of this spectacle, this crazy thing. And that's why he's buying the horses from OJ as well. He's using the horses as bait to basically feed it, to draw it out so people can see it. It's
and I was thinking, like, how is it not like a big thing? But it makes sense because all electronics cut out whenever this thing is around.
Right.
Whenever the UFO comes around. So that means all their phones would cut out so that nobody could actually record it.
Right. So yeah, it's all like a word of mouth thing, which, I mean, judging by the amount of people that were at the show when we actually do get a view of it, it's not a lot of people. So I mean that's probably another thing. Like his business was failing as well, so he was coming up with this scheme to. They were both kind of using the UFO in their own way to, help themselves get rich or save their businesses, and which was kind of interesting.
You don't find out that Jupe's using it to his own advantage until like later in the story.
Right.
When Ghost disappears, like you see the lights. This is what I thought is like you see the lights go off and then the lights come back on or whatever. I thought that was like either a UFO or something on the ground, or I was waiting for something to take off. But then you hear the noises of the horse that just got taken.
Is it sleeping on the ground? Was it just laying on the ground?
No, that was the lights from the Jupe's show, from his outdoor show.
That's all it was? Oh.
There were the spotlights from the show, essentially, and they kick off when the UFO comes, and then they turn back on after it grabs the horse.
Okay.
And
I definitely got to watch this movie again. Okay.
But, like, you don't know what those screams are until later. Like, you just hear, like, these weird horse noises, and you don't know that it's, like, horrible things happening to the horse.
Well, yeah.
But,
OJ, I think at one point OJ says, like, I've never heard a horse make that sound before. Like, he knew that Ghost was taken or gone or whatever because he heard this horrible sound that it made, and he goes back and is like, I've never heard a horse make that sound before. So something got him.
Yeah. That was, some of the sound design in this is just, we get into it more later. But the noises that come out of that thing are just unsettling, I guess is a good word for it.
Yeah, I was instantly like freaking out every time I heard that. I'm like, that sounds like multiple people screaming in pain.
Yeah,
that's
what it
what
was.
it sounds like.
It's like an echo chamber of screams though too, but it's like floating. You can't tell where it's coming from, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's almost like it amplifies the sound a little bit, because you'd think if it's so that high up, you wouldn't be able to hear the screams coming from it. But like when, at least from OJ's perspective, when he's like looking up in the sky, like the sound seems like it's all around him, like he's hearing the sound, and I don't know, the sound design is done really well.
These rolling hills, because there's a lot of people like yell to each other across the fields and stuff like that too.
Right.
So you've got like probably sound bouncing off of. There's nothing to like absorb the sound. Essentially.
That's true.
So.
Yep.
I that part was super. Like a lot of horror movies or whatever have like very distinct sounds. Like Jason movies, you got the Jason, kill. You got that, and then Friday the 13th or Halloween or whatever. Like they all have those signature sounds to them, and like the signature sound here just kind of like eats away at your soul. I don't know what it
Jordon
is.
Peele's really good at sound though. He does very well with the other two movies too. Like the soundtrack to Get Out is really good. So I'm not surprised that he took his time with this movie with the sound. There's one scene that I thought was kind of weird. I don't know if I liked it or not. I was really liking it, and then the way it ended, I didn't really care for what I just saw, but so OJ's out in the barn turning off lights.
Oh my god, this is fucked.
It was creepy. At first.
It was at first, and the way things were like moving, I'm like, oh yeah.
Well,
Okay,
I
this
thought
is cool.
I thought to myself, like, there's a lot of time left in this movie. It's too early to be getting the big reveal of these little aliens, you know.
It could be
romping
something.
around
I
his
mean, it
farm.
could be anything.
But it did get. Have you guys seen Signs before?
That's
Gave me those, dude. That scene with the alien walking by at the birthday party in Signs, that like scarred me as a kid. But this reminded me of that a little bit, where you just see this figure, you know, creeping up in the dark, and I was like, oh shit.
Lisa specifically brought up that movie when this scene happened too, because he goes to, the lights click on, and he goes to turn them off, and he's walking away, and they click back on, and is it then he turns around and he essentially sees like something on the ground, kind of poking its head, or no?
Oh, but it
creeping
moves
by
its
the
head
light.
so slow. I didn't even see it for a second. I'm like, oh wow, it's really sticking out now. Like, what's it gonna be?
Yeah,
And he's just like,
That's
nope.
The noise I was making, I was like,
Right, dude. I was just like, what is this?
because you don't know anything about what's going on in the movie yet. You just
Right.
know that there's a fucking UFO up there, that weird noises are happening,
Right.
shit's going down, and the other alien pops down and punches it in the face. And
In the face.
it ends up
Kid.
being kids. So
Which was Jupiter's
Which-
kids, or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
Messing with
Yeah,
them,
messing
right?
with them. Yeah.
which why I don't know. Is it because he wanted to buy the farm? Is he trying to scare him away?
No, it's because they stole the horse statue.
Oh,
Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
She stole one of their horse statues from out front, and that whole scene with them yelling back and forth, it's like, yeah, we got one of these. You got some too. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, where'd you get yours?
Yeah, where'd you get yours?
I don't remember. My wife bought them.
So yeah, I think he was getting him back for that whole thing. So that was kind of like a decoy a little bit to make you think like, oh, there's aliens. But then yeah, they end it. You didn't like that, Brandon? How they ended it with it was just end up being the kids.
It was just so creepy and scary, just to be like him punching a child in the face. I was like, wait a minute, what? And then it just turned out to be a prank.
Yeah.
But his acting in that scene was really good up in that point, and I was just like, oh, that's just, I don't know. I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, it's fine. Ultimately, overall, I look at this movie and I really enjoyed it. It was just, and maybe it's designed to make me feel that way.
Mhm.
I don't know.
But like the horse statue's gone at that point too. I think it
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 got sucked up.
disappears,
Mhm.
air quotes, which I guess we find out more about a little later. It makes a great reintroduction later in the movie. I thought.
Well, it was at this point where, this was in the Clover chapter, and the thing got Clover, and then it's this point when OJ posits that like maybe it's not a ship, maybe it's an organism.
Is that how does he know? How does he make that jump? I forget.
I don't remember exactly like what led him to think that. I probably just the way that it acts, because he kind of
He's in tune
attributes
with
it-
animals.
Yeah, he attributes
Or at least horses.
its
Because it's-
behavior to a predator, like an animal. I think
Because it's hunting for food rather
Right.
than like taking things or
Yeah.
whatever. Because he made a comment like it won't be back again tonight because essentially it's fed. I think is his.
Mhm. Yeah,
His
so I think he
position on
just
that one.
he sees the patterns that's going on here with it, and he's like, maybe it's not a ship.
Okay. Are you guys telling me that there's an alien spaceship in that fucking cloud right there?
It doesn't move like a ship.
What you mean, OJ?
What if it's not a ship?
Which is a crazy jump because that's like it from the quick like second or two that you get to actually see it. Like it looks like a flying saucer. It has that appearance to it, but
Mm-hmm.
as we go later in the movie, we find out it doesn't quite look like. I don't know if that's a form it takes, or it's just its travel form?
I think that's
guess?
the final form it takes is like its true form, quote unquote.
Yeah.
When
And
it kind
that's
of
just like
flays
it's-
out. Such a cool design. Yeah.
Which, yeah, that was intense. It's like a space jellyfish. I don't know.
What did you guys think of the it was at this point when we got kind of the Gordy flashback and saw the whole thing unravel with how that went down?
Oh man, dude,
That was, yes, not.
that was
It was tough.
really.
I didn't write
hard to
I didn't
watch.
write any
Yeah.
notes except
I knew
damn.
how-
That's
I
all I
know.
wrote
I
in my notes. I'm like, holy shit. It was-
Because
yeah.
you get like, it does like this long panning shot or whatever, and you see like just the feet hanging out of the couch, and you see the monkey just going to town, just like beating the shit out of it, just trying to get it to stop, and it's like biting at it and doing all sorts of, I don't know, just I don't know. If
Apparently this this has happened with chimpanzees in
There's
the
been
past,
many
and this is-
instances, yeah.
and they made the comment in the movie like, this is why you don't work with chimpanzees.
Mhm.
And I can see why, because I've heard of these stories, and
There's
and all
there's
that
about
stuff.
been stories people getting their faces eaten off
Yeah.
and arms ripped off or whatever.
So I looked into it a little bit. So yeah, man, like you see that whole scene, and then when you go back to present time Jupiter and see what he's got going on at his park, he's getting everybody excited. This is actually set up very well. I knew shit was gonna happen. The way the camera was going slowly into the scene, it's like we're in a hallway. We hear him talking, and we're going out there to see the big reveal, and it's him kind of teasing everybody about,
What they're gonna
this
see.
alien thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, in the next hour, I'm gonna change your mind on so much, or something like that. And which is cool and all that stuff, but going from it, like what he was just exposed to with what happened with the chimpanzee, and then what he's dealing with now, like, why did he do this?
I think he's got like a false.
Like,
he's got a false sense of control. I think almost because, like in the chimpanzee murder scene, like you see the dad try and get away, and the chimp just like hunts him down and like beats the shit out of him off screen or whatever. The part that fucking creeped the shit out of me is when he's hiding underneath the table as a little kid, and what's the chimp's name?
Gordy.
Gordy. It just like turns around and it sees him and it looks at him and it makes straight eye contact with the camera, and that's when you kind of like tense up and you're free and you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
what is
man.
gonna happen?
Mhm.
But really, I think what it is that like the tablecloth is hanging down, so he's not making eye contact. He's not a threat to Gordy. Like, whereas Gordy,
Okay.
they weren't respecting Gordy. They're dressing him up. They're putting fucking party hats on him, which I think is the funny part is like after Gordy beats the shit out of everybody and like eats that lady's face or whatever, he just knocks the fucking party hat off. He's just like, fuck this shit. Because that's not his rules. They got him all dressed up. And, later they talk about like making eye contact with predators. Like that's seen as like a sign of aggression or something like that.
Mhm.
So he's hiding under the table, non-threatening, and he's got the tablecloth hanging down, and he doesn't actually make
Okay.
eye contact with Gordy, which I think is like, I don't know if Jupe's got like a sense of like, I can control animals or I'm the lucky one. I don't know, but
I couldn't make the connection, but
which
that
is
makes
weird.
sense
But
a little bit. Like
yeah, you can't.
he gets a false understanding of what their behavior is. Where to parallel that, well, not the parallel, but like the opposite of that would be OJ,
yes.
who
He respects,
knows the
rules.
completely respects and
Gets-
understands
gets
the
un-
rules. Yeah.
yes, exactly how he says rules and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Every animal, every predator has rules that you got to follow. And OJ says something really good after, like the whole thing with Jupiter goes sideways. It's like Jupiter was trying to control the predator when really you have to reach an agreement with a predator.
Yes.
And like that is that kind of sums up this whole relationship with this thing.
And and that's how OJ knows not to make eye contact and all that kind of stuff. And then
Yeah.
when they bring the
Okay.
director in,
Yeah,
the other director
makes
kind
sense.
of knows. I don't know. He's got all his weird, crazy animal documentary footage that he's watching, so he's obviously up to date on Predator.
It's really cool. I was reading as well, like Jordan Peele had a lot of inspiration from a lot of theme of this movie is people's addiction to spectacle, and he referenced King Kong and Jurassic Park as two inspirations, like both huge, things with the illusion of control, dinosaurs and a giant monkey, but really at any moment they could snap and just fucking wreck shit and do their own thing.
Right.
That's the same thing with, this creature that they were dealing with.
All right, that explains, I think, Jupiter's character to me. Okay, I was confused. Like, why was he doing this? Like, he should know better.
It's like his own
But I
little
guess-
Jurassic Park, because he thinks he's controlling this thing by feeding it horses. And he's like, I feed you a horse, and you come out and show yourself for all these people, and then you go back and go away and do your thing. Like, he thinks he's in control of it, but really, he's not.
Right.
He's doing possibly the worst thing possible is getting a bunch of people to all stare at it. Like,
Right.
Families, like kids.
That is the worst thing you could do.
He
to
even got
this
his
fucking thing.
old co-worker, the poor woman that must have survived the attack.
Yeah,
was
her
the-
face was all messed up.
Yeah, the monkey fucking ate her lips off, which is fucking nasty. Ugh.
Yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. Actually, let's keep going with the nastiness. So after that happens, they all get sucked
The
up.
scene where they
And
sucked them all
show-
up. Oh my god.
I was like, oh my goodness, what a way to go. That was insane. And you could hear everybody and the one woman, the wife, she had her headset on, so she's like broadcasting to everybody or something like that.
I didn't even notice
Catch that.
Yeah.
It sounded, or maybe it was just the room, but she sounded really loud, and that's why they kept it on her.
That
she
makes
had the
sense.
headset.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe her and the PA system got sucked up there, or she had, I don't know.
But that's
Maybe not.
That's where you kind of figure out, like, oh, this is where all those weird fucking horse noises, all the screams and stuff are coming from.
Because it is a very weird sound.
'Cause-
Once you see it happen, oh, that's what it is.
You're like, yeah, that makes it even more unsettling because it's like people or horses getting like digested or.
Well, it's a really weird and eerie thing because it like sucks them all up and they're just like in this fucking cavity, which they do a really good job of giving you like claustrophobia feelings.
It's like a deflated bounce house kind of.
Yeah.
Like.
But like at a certain point, they're all screaming, but then it's like he like instantly eats them all at once or digests them because at one point everything just goes silent.
There was like a foam or like liquid falling on them. That's when the woman really started screaming.
Oh, is that what it was?
So it's probably just puke. Yeah, it's probably just like
digestive fluid
just
or whatever.
like
and then
a
once
Venus
it's,
flytrap or like a jellyfish or some kind of.
And the idea of it like spitting out all the shit that it doesn't want, that's where all the falling metal objects come from.
Or plastics.
Yeah,
It's
because
sucking
it
up a lot of
digests,
dirt.
Really
it
doesn't like
digests
that
all
crap.
the organic material, and then it just spits out all the shit it doesn't want.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings up one of the fucking nastiest scenes of this, like the freakiest scenes of the whole movie. I think
the blood rain.
Oh my god.
And does that happen right after this essentially?
It's very close after, yeah.
OJ shows up and sees that everybody's missing, and then he calls back to Emerald back at the house, and he's like,
Yep.
"Yo, everybody's gone. Like, shit's going down." And I think
that's
when then their phones cut out because he's on his way back. Actually, yeah, right there.
Oh, I love
that
this.
was one of my favorite scenes.
The sound, yeah, dude. Don't forget about how
Oh,
Angel's in
God.
his like van and he's leaving. He's like, I wear my
Oh my God.
sunglasses at night.
Because it's got to
But
be
then
a
the
tape.
sound has to.
It's got to be like a cassette tape because it goes
slow. It
to,
slows
like,
down. Yeah, I
goes
think it
to,
was
like,
just
half
for
speed.
effect. It was just for dramatic.
I think it's for effect.
Yeah.
But it turns
I think-
it turns it like poppy song into like a horror song.
Yeah, the
Right.
creepy slow version.
Oh, I loved it. I thought that was so cool. Yeah, there's a whole scene around that, and it was great. It was because you at this point you're kind of learning about the alien, and, like what's going on with the stuff, and he's trying. He's like, OJ's probably not gonna die. He's like the main character, you know, but you're still kind of nervous of what's gonna happen. But that song, I don't know. It's just like I love when a movie can do something unique with music, not just throw it in there. I like this is cool. I will remember this moment in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just treatment of this song.
So why does let's start? I guess calling the alien. They do dub it Jean Jacket, named after an old horse.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Jean Jacket sit over their house and do that? Is there a reason for that? Did I miss something there, or because it eats all the people at the thing, and instead of going back to its cloud, it goes back over the house? I don't know if it's still hungry. It did just eat a whole bunch of people.
I don't know. My interpretation was that it was just it was like an intimidation tactic, sort of. Because, like, he knows Jean Jacket, I should call him. Jean Jacket knows that, like, OJ and them have been, like, you know, trying to mess with him and all this stuff. Like, I just think he's getting agitated with all the stuff that they're doing.
It could be a she, too.
She, yeah.
Jean Jacket.
Non-binary. But yeah, I just interpreted that as like an intimidation thing. Like he knew that they were in the house. He was trying to scare him, draw him out. But yeah, that scene was pretty nasty. Cover the house.
I thought Angel was gonna freak out and run out. I was like, I can't take it, and run out. He was like wigging out.
Right. Yeah, surprisingly, he stayed. Well, he was freaking out, and he grabbed a knife. I'm like, what is that? What is that gonna do?
His car died as he was trying to leave, and he kind of figured out like, oh, the power's going out, like it's here, kind of thing. Which
why didn't they go into the basement unless they didn't have a basement? But I was like, you guys should go in your basement and hide.
It's a good question. They didn't show a basement at all. Who knows out there in the
she goes in the corner and he goes under a table.
He goes under yeah, right, exactly.
Which I don't know, that blood rain scene is just nasty because it's like thick and gross, and like you just see everything that got sucked up dumping out there. It is.
I really like the scene after the house though. When he gets there, he gets into, he gets out of his truck. He runs because it's fucked up, like a shit fell into it, stuff like that. But when he runs from his truck to Angel's van, he pulls up to get them out of the house to get in. That was very intense.
Yeah, it was.
And the way he acted that was like really good because he's just like tapping, just like don't look up, don't move, don't do anything, just like come on. He's just like not, and he's thinking about stuff
after
too.
The horse came back, like the statue came back and went through his windshield.
This was after, yeah.
Because he switched vehicles at this point.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to get them. This is like the next morning.
Yeah, he ended up sleeping
and he's
in
trying
his
to
truck
get them
because he knows it's above him.
Right.
And he like peeks out the window and he sees it up there and he's just like, nope. He just shuts his
Staying
door
in
and he's
here.
like, I ain't moving. Which I don't know. That was awesome too.
Yeah, the tension when it's just like he's staring at the ground and it's just like hovering above him slowly. Like it's just so good. So good.
It's
one
like,
of my favorites.
somebody dealing with an apex predator.
Mhm.
You gotta know the rules, don't look up.
Yeah, it's like it's like Jurassic Park reminds me of, like, you're not supposed to move. The T-Rex will see your movements, so you got to stand perfectly still.
Oh, that's a good point. Good call.
So they do get in the van though, and they get the fuck out of there. This was a weird scene to me. So they go to Angel's house, and then they go to a diner, and they're just acting like they're playing, like they're getting high. They're like,
I thought it made
games.
sense to me.
I was like, you don't want to go to a college or a university or a newspaper.
Think about the first thing you would do after. Like, would you instantly go to the media and be like, oh, I saw this crazy thing? No, you get high and play video games and try to forget about everything that you just saw. But, which I think it makes sense because M and Angel were doing that. They were coping with it, trying to forget it and move on. But OJ had, this thing in his craw, like stuck in his craw. He's just not going to let it go. He can't just leave it.
Angel tells him to read the room.
Yeah.
I laughed at that.
It's like, we don't talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were having ice cream or whatever they were eating.
Fish sandwiches or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, some food. Yeah. And they're literally talking about how awesome that food is, to not talk about anything but
What just happened?
The alien. Yeah. But I'm like with him. I'm with OJ. I'm like, yeah, like what the fuck?
We can't
Plus,
just
he's
forget
like-
about what happened.
And he's like, I gotta tend to the horses. So he's just like, it's my property. I don't know. So he's like stepping up and all that stuff, which you need to. Like somebody's got to do something. Can't run away. But I thought they would go to the police or like call somebody. Like somebody has to see this. But maybe they don't have many friends. I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
like
they reach out to the director then
They
because
called
they gotta
the-
actually get.
They tried.
the
to get footage
cinematographer. He's the greatest cinematographer in the world, or whatever he is. Holst.
He'll get the shot.
Yeah, he'll get the shot. But yeah, that was an interesting direction. They tried to they called him earlier, right? Or was this the first time they called him?
They called him earlier, and then after after everybody gets sucked out of that theme park or whatever, he hears about it, and then he calls
That's
them
right.
back.
That's right. Yep. So
And
he's like he's all
after
in.
they get their fish sandwiches, that's when they get the call back.
Yeah. So he's all in with them. He's, they're all making preparations to get the shot. And the way I love a good like planning montage,
Yeah,
like planning session where they're,
Yeah.
trying to figure
What-
out
what with
everything.
Holst gets there?
Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to figure out everything they're going to do. They're coming up with all these cool ways to draw it out and to know where it is. Like with the inflatable tube guys. That was such a cool
Mhm.
idea.
like that's in the trailers too, and like you don't know what the hell, like what the reason for that is or anything until like here essentially.
And I love that they just stole all the shit from Jupiter's place because everybody was dead and nobody was there. So they're like,
Stealing
we'll
car
take
batteries
these.
out of everybody's car.
Like, sorry, dead
Doing
people.
business.
Sorry, dead people. You don't need these anymore.
Right.
But yeah,
So they
that,
got, like,
that was
yeah.
cool.
The director's got like a hand cranked IMAX camera so that power won't cut out, and then they steal a whole bunch of shit from the Fry's Electronic and then from Jupiter's place, and they got a map, and everybody's got their thimbles, and there's race car Monopoly pieces to kind of symbolize everything, and then
Yeah. it was
hilarity
great.
ensues.
Mm-hmm.
This movie does a lot of winks and nods to a lot of things. Like I said, the Akira bike slide
Oh,
to a little bit of Goonies probably thrown in there too. Like, all these things. Like this is great. I love it.
Mhm.
And he does it tastefully where it's not too distracting. But if you know, you know. But if you don't, whatever. Just enjoy what you're watching. So you can tell Peele's a fan of cinema. And yeah, that was a great montage. It was awesome. And then he kind of gets into probably the final act, which I think is called Jean Jacket,
Yep.
right? So then it becomes, this is the part where I was thinking about like Jaws, where like if they had the military or the police to hunt this thing down, it probably would go a lot smoother. But like a very small team, a ragtag team is put together to figure this out. And I like it. Like, wow, this is pretty cool.
I love it because it there's a tone shift for sure. Because like earlier in the movie, it's more horror when you don't know what's going on and everybody gets sucked up and whatever. But then when you get to like this final act, it's more of like, it feels more like an adventure a little bit. It's, you're not as scared because you know what this thing is. They have a goal that they're trying to accomplish, and they know how to handle
their
it.
basic
They
set
have
of
their
rules.
tools and they have their rules. Yeah, exactly.
You got to have your rules. So it's kind of cool how they have it. They got the two camera people up on the hill. They got OJ on a horse who's going to go essentially draw it out. I guess that's what his job was. And then M is running the cameras essentially in the house, and she can.
Oh, she's doing the digital cameras.
Yeah,
that's right.
And
yeah.
she can tell via the radio like when specific wacky wild inflatable flailing arm tube bend.
Yeah, it's fucking
start to go
awesome. It's
down.
what a great
You gotta
idea.
call them by
What
their
a
own
great
name.
idea. I love it. So fun. So cool. Everything about this is great. It was more adventurous. It was during the day, you know what the creature looks like.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're taking
From the
the fight.
outside of it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the end of like any scary movie where you're taking the fight to the monster now.
Yep.
Not that they would actually like fight him; they're just trying to get it on film, essentially. Just to...
Well, they just want to get it, capture it, and know that the military probably will go to like kill it. But let's be the ones that are famous. Like let's get the credit for it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably because of their name stake. Like we're the people who were the first people to do cinema. I guess so. Maybe,
Could be, yeah.
or motion picture. So maybe we should be the ones that are the first to film it. I don't know. Whatever. I'm sure there's something that there's so many themes and stuff like that in this movie. But so this is a random scene that happens.
Sure.
Some kind of paparazzi guy shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude on a motorcycle.
I thought it was gonna be like some FBI guy or
That's what I thought. Like some dude
sort
in
of
black
government
showing
person.
up.
No,
What was up with this scene?
it's just some TMZ dude that he heard about the killings and he just showed up next door, just trying to.
Yeah.
Because their yard backs up to Jupiter's yard or whatever. I forget what they called Jupe's place. But so he just shows up there on an electric bike, and imagine that he's on an electric bike.
Right.
I have to assume that Jordon Peele is making commentary to his industry about TMZ and such, because that guy was so ridiculous. He had a goofy helmet, a electric bike. He had a synthesized voice of some sort. Like, he just was a completely ridiculous character, and it came out so arrogant and cartoonish. And I think he has to be picking on TMZ. It's just like, look how ridiculous.
And you had to make him a not likable character because you knew he was gonna get it. You knew he was gonna not make it out of there alive.
Well, at first I thought he was going to reveal himself. He's like, I couldn't place the actor's voice, but I was like, who is this? And like, why, is this like going to be more than meets the eye? Like, he's been hunting these things? Nope.
No, he was just some dude trying to make a name for himself by catching this, whatever was going on.
I noticed that this was blurry on Google Earth or Google Maps or something like that.
Like, yeah, that doesn't really make sense. That's like kind of a throwaway line, but I don't know why that makes sense. But I don't know. It's, that whenever you have a plan put together in a movie towards the end, like, there's always something that goes wrong with it.
Well, he was an
he is
important
the thing.
plot device because without him, M wouldn't have had the bike.
Man in black on a white motorcycle.
So
This is actually very important.
Like that.
Can I help you?
You see that cloud?
Man, who you with?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who are you?
Nobody.
You don't look like a nobody to me.
Yeah, look, we doing a camera test for a Verizon commercial, so, I'm gonna need you to clear the road.
This whole valley comes up as blurry on Google Maps. You're really tucked away back here.
Jupiter's claim? Quick if you go the other way around.
Yeah. Actually, what did happen with Jupe Park and all those people? He was basically your neighbor, right? So what? They vanished? You don't believe the flood narrative, do you?
Fuck guys. It's TMZ.
But eventually, yeah, he goes riding off to try and get a shot. His bike, cuts out. He breaks a leg and goes like flying through
nice
the air.
little. I love the scream. They should have used the Wilhelm scream there. That would have been a nice touch. It was pretty close though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all gonna go to jail.
Like the angel says blind,
boy,
like,
that
yeah, he's
guy's
got to be
alive.
dead. And then, like, a second later, you're, He's like, oh no, he's not dead. Damn it. But OJ goes to help him, and then like
OJ's on a
Jacket-
horse,
Jean
which
Jacket
makes so
shows
much
up,
sense.
and the dude's staring up at the sky, and he's like, all right, nope, you're breaking the rule. Fuck this. See you later.
Yeah, OJ just
Lets
leaves
the
him.
guy
He's
get
like,
sucked
nah,
up.
whatever.
He's like, let me get you out of here. Let's go. And then the guy's like, I want take a photo of this. Capture. Did you film it?
Is it
So,
it's
all-
TMZ douche.
He needs the
Like, is
shot.
Yeah, it's all commentary. Like, I guess
Well, it was.
TMZ must be so bad that they'll do anything.
If you
for
think
a show.
about it, I mean, they are different characters, but him and Holst kind of have the same goal, and they met the same end. Holst wanted to get. I don't know. Holst's whole
He wanted that
thing was.
he wanted the impossible shot.
Yes, but
So he says two cryptic things, right? So he says the first thing. Why did he say that? What did that mean?
Which one?
Because that was your quote.
Oh, the impossible made possible or whatever it was. I forgot what the exact quote was.
Being up on a hill of your dreams or whatever is a dream you can't wake up from.
This dream you're chasing where you end up at the top of the mountain, all eyes on you. It's a dream you never wake up from.
Okay, so he runs up the hill and exposes himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he also says something. And he says something else too to Angel before he leaves too. Like, you don't deserve the impossible.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna film getting sucked up into the alien. He's getting the impossible shot. He's doing the impossible.
But no one's ever gonna see it.
The camera, it did spit out the film at some point.
He had the film in his camera when he got sucked up.
Yeah, it goes inside. I mean, we all know it will get spit out though.
When Angel goes tumbling down, when it goes to suck up their little spot that they were hiding at, you do see a film canister like rolling down the hill with Angel at some point. I assume that got spit out, or
I just assumed that was the other film, like the extra one, because he had to change the film in the middle of it when they were cranking it. So I just assumed it was one of those extra ones. But I guess I never made that connection. That I
assumed it was that film, but I don't know.
I guess you're right. He would get sucked up, and then it would eventually spit back out the camera, and then that way they would have the film. But I didn't even think of that at the time, or think that was the intention. I thought Holst was just sacrificing himself. Like, he got the shot, but no one would ever see it. You know what I mean? Because it got sucked up with him.
As long as the film doesn't crack and get exposed to light, like technically it could. Because you saw when they had to change the film, he had to put it in like this weird in the box and change it with like the gloves in the dark and stuff like that, because you can't expose it to anything or else it'll all get ruined.
I just assumed all other evidence or film was non-usable or destroyed, because I mean they made such a big deal of M getting a shot at the end. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. Well, I think it's more because I think Peele is trying to make a comment that you have like both of these guys, Holst and the TMZ dude, are both trying to get the shot.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be the ones to get the shot.
Yep.
But the TMZ guy is trying to get the shot, doesn't want to die, but is trying to get the shot, and gets killed by this thing, not knowing like why he's even there. He's just like, I just want to get the shot. Like, something weird's going on. I want to get it, and then he dies. Where Holst has the shot, knows what he's shooting, knows the risk, knows the danger, and then he goes and sacrifices himself because he wants it all to himself. Where the other guy, TMZ, just wants to get it for everybody to see. And he'll do whatever it takes to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Or Holst is like, I'll do whatever it takes to get it, but it's for me. It's like the artist, like, I don't know, it's weird, but like I think there's something there. I think Peele is trying to say about the both of, like, why are you trying to do this? And you're doing it for this, and why are you doing it?
Their motivation, where the douchey TMZ guy's just doing it to get money or whatever, and Holst is doing it for like the art form, and because you see him watching all these like old like animal documentaries or shit that he's filmed over the years, I'm assuming. And I'm assuming that he wants to, he'll sacrifice himself to get this impossible shot so he can be the only one that has ever gotten this impossible shot.
Exactly. And I think that's what he was trying to say with both their deaths, which now that I look back
complete
on
opposites, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which is cool. Like, I think that's, I mean, again, when you watch, especially when you watch like Get Out, and Us, I guess, but Get Out, like, you have to rewatch it because he's saying so much.
Don't spoil Get Out on me now, because I'm dying to see the rest of these movies.
It's just like this movie. Yeah, there's a lot being said on top of just being a fun movie,
and that makes good movies though, because you don't want to just it was a summer monster movie or whatever, but it's more than just a monster movie. It has deeper meaning to a lot of shit, which makes it, a lot of the movies that we see that I enjoy the most are the ones that make you think for days after, and you're still digesting like everything that you just saw. So I don't know. It's great that there's multiple.
I want to rewatch
layers.
it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna rewatch it.
Like immediately. I might want to rewatch it tomorrow. And just put it back on. Maybe get my wife to watch it. But yeah. So after Holst dies,
Angel almost dies, but
Angel almost dies, but he's like all wrapped up and he's like trying to get like
he ties barbed wire around himself, and basically the fence like saves him from getting sucked up, which which was cool because I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see Angel die. Seemed like a pretty good dude.
He was growing on me.
Yeah.
He
was douchey in the beginning, but
right,
better.
Yeah. He's all right. But Keke is out there. She's out there, and she gets blown away, right? I'm sorry, Keke. M.
It goes after the barn. I don't know specifically why it went after the barn that she was in, but it tries to like essentially suck up the barn. I think the alien knows that like these people are fucking with it. At this point, it's lashing out at the people rather than like trying to just.
At this point, it's aggravated, and he just wants to,
It's like Gordon the monkey,
revenge kill.
Like they're not respecting the rules. Gordon the monkey's gonna show them the fucking rules, essentially. So,
yeah, exactly.
Which there's another parallel, but we'll get to that later. There's an even better one. So, yeah, Keke gets tossed. And I forgot what happens after she gets tossed. Essentially, it's all three of them running because OJ's hiding in a barn. Because he got away from it. He uses the cool flag maneuver because the alien or Jean Jacket didn't like it when it sucked up the horse, the not real horse that had the flag on it. And he uses that to kind of scare it away. And then essentially, M goes for the bike, and he gets on the horse to try and distract Jean Jacket so she can kind of get away. I'm assuming that's kind of what's going on here.
This is like when you have OJ and M are apart from each other. They're both looking at each other. One's on a bike, one's on a horse, and I could not think about Triple R.
I didn't even think about
that either.
I was
awesome.
I was like two movies that I'm really liking this year. They have a horse and a bike, and the two main characters looking at each other, and like that was cool. But this is when the creature, the alien monster thing, is in full form.
Yeah, it does its jellyfish inflate whatever thing. It was cool.
It was just like a disc-looking UFO-looking thing with the opening. That was like its mouth, and I get that concept. But then it through the opening, that circle on the bottom, it comes out and it fans out, and it looks like something you would see maybe in the bottom of the ocean or something like that.
Definitely, jellyfish
it is
looking
massive.
And apparently there was some like biblical inspiration for this as well. Like apparently there's those are like depictions or descriptions of angels. Yeah, and like Brandon, you've seen Neon Genesis Evangelion, right?
I have.
That was also a major inspiration for that design with like the abstract angel forms, and such a cool design.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. The design was fantastic.
But yeah, that's like Jean Jacket's final form, when he's revealing his true self.
It's got like the weird like mouth where it's kind of like the green part of it's kind of like flittering, where it's kind of like, I don't know if it's posturing at OJ or whatever. It's like, when a tiger starts circling
like
you,
or something.
Or something like that, where it's kind of like, I don't know, where it's asserting its dominance over something, and OJ's kind of just backing away, and then M ends up, the bike turns on, M takes off, and it goes chasing after her.
Oh yeah, dude.
Which
gets camera work in that scene was, everything about that just was beautiful to look at. I really was enjoying the visuals of this. I was like, get the fuck out of there, girl. Get that thing out of there. Where are you gonna go?
The thing is so huge though, too. Like, you got these wide shots.
I know. I loved it.
And this thing is just taking up like 2/3 of the entire screen, and you're just like, holy shit. But she takes off towards what is it? I keep calling it Jupiter or something. What is it? Jupiter's claim is the.
It must be slower though in that form, because if it was in the UFO kind of design, it would have definitely caught up to her and sucked her up.
Well, wind resistance. It can't be that big. It's like flying a kite into the wind.
I think that's how M was able to get away on her bike, because that thing was in that.
Yeah, disc form is like its aerodynamic form.
Yeah.
Which
But that was cool. She fucking, because I thought OJ was gonna sacrifice himself so she could get away.
yeah,
But she ends up just cutting loose. She gets there, and he's like, "I'll just distract her for as much as I can." And then she goes, and it's wild. I didn't really see. Maybe they showed this balloon before. I didn't see it.
you see it before in like when they're there
Okay.
previously.
You do?
Or when you're driving by
Okay.
or whatever. Don't forget the Wicked Akira slide in here. Shout out to the fucking Akira
right.
bike slide,
Yes.
which it's so awesome. It's just iconic at this point. Although,
And if you have not watched Akira, watch Akira.
it's almost time to go back.
And then listen to our episode about it, because Akira is one of the greatest animation films of all time. But yeah, it was a great scene that shot in this movie. I was just like, bravo, thank you for doing that.
It's like a live action one too. You don't really see a live action like
Right.
Akira slide either. Like mostly it's like, some other animation kind of ripping it off or doing it in video games or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, the balloon. She essentially, I don't know if she has this idea where, I don't know, is it because it's looking at it? Is it because it's
That's what I got
floating
from
up
it.
into
It's
her
because
space?
it's human shaped and it has eyes. It's kind of like, I mean, the animal's not, the jean jacket isn't smart enough to discern the difference between, I don't think.
Organic versus
Right.
non-organic.
Because even OJ had like the reflectors on the back of his hood
Yeah, I thought that was a
to
bad
make it
idea.
look like he had eyes on the back of there to like draw it in, to
I
make
didn't
it
even notice that.
to make
see?
it chase after him.
I was wondering, like, why do you have that on the back of your head? You look like you're looking at it. That's a bad idea.
That was the point. He was trying to draw him away, draw him in towards him.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. So I think the whole conceit for the balloon, for me, that how I interpret it anyways, is that like this thing, whatever, Jean Jacket doesn't know what it is, but it looks threatening, so he's gonna fuck it up.
It's a territorial animal because they know,
Mhm.
they know that that's kind of why it's attacking things, is because it's hunting and it's infringing on their territory, which is probably why it puked up blood all over their house to be like, listen, this is my fucking territory, get out. So
when he sucks it up, do you think it's dead, or do you think it's just severely fucked up?
I think it's dead because it's like it exploded, like it compressed. It's a helium balloon because it floated away,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably compressed it into all of its inner guts or whatever, and then
That's what I thought.
Blew it
assuming
out.
either
Blew it out from the inside.
Yeah, the acid
Like
hit it
throwing
and
a
it exploded,
grenade inside
or,
of a tank.
Yeah,
Oh,
essentially.
yeah. Okay, that's what I thought too, but they left it sort of ambiguous because it kind of just drifts away.
And it's
But
very
it's all
light.
like floppy
It's
when
like
it's drifting away.
Yeah, it's very light so it can float in the
Right.
air. So, yeah, and this is why I think about Jaws, where like just kind of like this ragtag team taking it out and blowing it up. Like
Mhm.
Jaws, they had to blow it up like this. I don't know. To me, I just thought there's a little bit of Jaws in there too. I see a lot of things in this movie, but that's how you do it. Instead of fucking remaking shit or like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You notice that? Like just a subtle wink.
Oh, yeah.
is all I need. Or like take inspiration. Like everybody knows that Star Wars, the first movie when it came out, it was like great, but they also know that it's took a lot of inspiration from things. Same thing with Indiana Jones. Like this movie I think is just doing the same thing in a more modern time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I've said it many times, but I think Jordon Peele is just a fan of cinema, and it was just, I don't know, it's fun watching his movies. Kind of like M. Night Shyamalan. I think Dave made a comment in our Discord about how him and Lisa were talking about, like, it feels like that all over again. And it kind of does. Like, he's kind of got his style of doing these sci-fi horror kind of movies. But
Mhm.
I was more. So
I think this.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I just think that Jordon Peele has done 3 bangers in a row for the most part. Like I know Us is regarded as much as Get Out, but
Get Out won a ton of awards, didn't it?
yeah. But I think you look at what he's doing these first 3 movies, like they're all really good movies, and M. Night Shyamalan took a little hit after
Yeah.
his third or fourth movie. He made
It's
some
just-
I think it
staples
was
for
like
sure.
the
it's
shock
just
of
the
it.
formula.
It was like
The formula got old.
Yeah,
Oh,
his
yeah, he
his
did
was
have a
like the
formula.
weird twist,
True.
the twist at the end where everything's not what you think it is, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's movies have a formula, but he
Well, they have a
keeps it
style,
fresh
but I don't know
enough.
if it's a formula. It's just a style.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's more of a style, but it's more of the slowly unraveling mystery is his
It's
style.
like a glorified Twilight Zone episode.
I mean,
At least
that's
this movie
his-
was.
we
And
know
the-
he's
I
a
think
fan of
probably the
those
last two.
too. So
Mhm.
the one thing I did want to
Makes
say
sense.
though earlier is that when we get the flashback of the monkey attack, we see that the monkey attack was started by a balloon popping, and kind of that set off the entire thing.
Oh shit!
And then the alien is killed by the balloon popping, essentially. So it's kind of a weird, I don't know, a balloon had an effect in both of those things, which was kind of just a weird thing. I don't think it's an accident that they line up like that, essentially, but I don't know. I thought that was just an interesting coincidence.
I think that's done on purpose. I mean, we don't have enough of a filmography for Peele to know specifically what he's capable of, but we know that like with directors like Kubrick, he was obsessed with every detail of his movies,
There's
everything.
There's
Nothing to
coincidence.
say
I have
that
to
Peele isn't doing the same thing.
I have
like
to assume
Hitchcock was
everything
very,
is intentional.
Yeah.
You know,
because it could have been any number of things. It could have been anything that set the monkey off in the show to make him flip out and go crazy. So that's just a weird coinky dink.
Yeah.
Or not. I don't know. It's just an interesting combination. But
well, they get the
I don't
shot.
know. That's
She gets it. She gets it at the end with that wild
fucking
upside
well
down
crank
school
camera
well
thing.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of crazy.
Oh, that's great. And and then the movie's over, and that's it.
I don't
Great
know.
soundtrack.
I thought that was amazing. The main three actors, Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Steven Yeun, Angel, like those four, I guess technically, I think did a fucking amazing job in this. Just the Daniel especially, because he plays it like so straight, and he's like quiet and reserved, and like, you know, he's very serious and stoic in his character. And Kiki's like the complete opposite in her character, where she's outlandish and brash. Like, it's just the two brothers and sisters, and it's just a great combination. The whole movie just kind of came together.
Well,
Very
you gotta
well.
watch Get Out next,
That's-
Dave,
oh
because
my
he
God.
does a fantastic job in that
That's on
movie
next.
too.
Yeah, he's stoic in, I guess, in that. Not as much, but yes, he's very reserved and quiet in that one. And just, I think that as an actor, he's got these very incredible eyeballs. Like, they're like half open on the top of his eye, but they're completely open on the bottom of his eyes. And I think he's a great actor. I think he really can capture a scene. Like, when he's really scared, the way he's like holds it in, it's like very mannish. He's like holding, like, yeah, I got this under control. But he's like, nope.
When he sees the aliens, like
When he
that
does
scene.
that.
Like, nope.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's, you know, and but so much is done with his facial expressions, and I think he's a great actor, and I think Jordan Peele knows this. It's kind of like how Tarantino or Christopher Nolan lock on a couple actors, and they just know, I can tell an incredible fucking story with this actor because I know this actor is going to do what I want, and the actor gets it, and I think that's what's going on with Peele. So, with his actors and stuff like that, because this is the returning of Daniel Kaluuya. But
Yeah,
overall, I think it's a great movie.
it's fantastic. I fully recommend this to everybody I'm going to talk to for the next couple weeks. Everybody needs to go see Nope. And it's- Hopefully, it comes out on more streaming platforms and stuff soon. That's kind of out there.
Heard that
already.
I think it's coming to like I think it's Peacock
Oh, okay.
on November 18th. So if you're listening to this, I believe that it is coming out. Yeah, it will exclusively hit Peacock
Nice.
just after Halloween, so mid-November, which is cool. So if you got Peacock, look out for Nope.
And sorry we ruined the film for you at this point.
No,
no, you're probably watching it.
If you
again
skipped to the end just to hear Act 3 for the game, then you'll be catching the tail end of this.
What a great year for movies, though, right, guys? I mean, honestly, like there's been some really good movies that came out, and this is just another good movie that came out this year, I think. And...
I was gonna say I feel like I haven't watched new movies that often as much. I mean, obviously, whatever, part of that was pandemic. There wasn't much coming out, but now that that's, past, we get more and more movies coming out, and especially, like you said, this year, some great ones coming out. Every movie that I've seen that's come out this year, fantastic.
Even, just shit that we have to watch for the show is just very original, and it's great to see an original, like completely like unique story. Like who else is going to tell a fucking story about horse trainers and UFOs, like, and
an alien that hides in a cloud.
Like, where the fuck?
Right.
Like a cloud. You ever been afraid of a cloud?
Yeah. No.
Well, there's a fucking cloud monster out there.
Now when I look up, I'm going to be making sure they're all moving from now on. I know when I went outside yesterday after watching the movie, I was definitely looking up. So, no.
We've already said it, but Jordan Peele is going to be one of those where it's going to be an event every time one of his movies gets announced or comes out.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is, looking out for his next project. Like,
he's got that notoriety to him.
Doing a great job.
He puts out quality.
He is I think he's directing that new. I shared the trailer in our Discord, but it's like that new like Nightmare Before Christmas looking movie. It had that same animation style.
Stop.
Yep.
It
was stop motion. Yeah. Yep.
It's hold on, let me get the name of it just so. Wendell and Wild is the name of that movie. So he's also I think he's not directing that one, but he is producing it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So there's probably not as many motherfuckers in it, but it'll probably still be good.
He's actually, him and Keegan-Michael Key are the main characters of Wild, Wendell and Wild. So.
I'm glad they're still doing shit together too, because they're kind of they kind of went their own way after Key and Peele and kind of been.
Hollywood has gobbled those two up, though. They're like literally in a lot of stuff from.
Fucking Keegan-Michael Key is Toad in the Mario movie, like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, these guys have done very well for themselves. Good for them. They are funny guys, but it is nice to see them go back to what we all know them from. They were the guys from Key and Peele. So, but yeah, these guys are great. So, all right, let's wrap it up. That was a long one.
That was great.
But and then we'll go into Act 3. We'll play a game, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, we're back. Act 3. I understand that Act 2 probably took a little bit to get through, and a little bit longer, so I have a game for you guys that I came up with, and as we talk through the movie Nope, it more or less may have sped things up for you guys to get the answers to this game. The game is called Nope.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and
Thought you were gonna call it Yup.
yep, and nope. I'm just going with nope. And honestly, I just have a series of facts that I learned about the movie, and I just want to make sure that you guys can answer correctly more than get wrong out of these. So hopefully you guys will come out of these. You only get one shot.
Are we working together?
You're working together. The Nomads are working together.
Okay.
And out of all these questions, I just want to see at the end you have more yeps than nopes.
Ooh.
All right, so you don't want the nopes. Okay? So let me see here.
All right.
1, 2, 3,
You say so.
4, 5, 6. There's only 7 questions. So let's just do this one real quick.
It's like a I feel like I'm in school. I have to do a book report on what I just learned.
Pop quiz. Yep. Okay. So, question 1. What was the name of the show of the chimpanzee
Oh.
It's
that the chimpanzee was in?
What the hell was that called?
It's Gordon's home or Gordon's house.
Gordy's
or
house?
Gordon?
Is it Gordy's house?
Is it Gordon or
It's
Gordy?
Gordy.
Gordy?
It's Gordy.
Definitely Gordy's. You're right on there. Right on that.
I think it's Gordy's.
Is it Gordy's house?
Gordy's house or Gordy's home? I don't know.
Gordy's place?
No.
I thought it was Gordy's house.
I think it's Gordy. Oh, we can go with Gordy's house. I think that makes sense. Good.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
You guys are gonna go with that's your final answer?
House.
Gordy's house.
Gordy's house.
Nope.
Oh,
It is Gordy's home.
Oh,
Home.
motherfucker.
Oh, Gordy's home. Fuck.
All right, ready?
Close.
Damn it. So
What type of coin kills Pops in the beginning of the movie?
I know that one.
Nickel.
Nickel.
A nickel. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is the name of the store that Angel works at?
Fry's
it's
Electronics.
Fry's. Yeah, Fry's, right?
Fry's.
Fries what?
Electronics, right?
Yeah, Fry's Electronics.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Trying to trick us.
We don't have those here, really, do we?
Is that
Let's
a
see
real
how good your
store?
memory is.
Yeah, it is a real store.
Oh, I didn't know it was a real store.
I think those are somewhere else, though. Out west, probably.
The budget was $68 million.
Mm-hmm.
What did they take in?
It was
171.
170. Yeah.
171 point.
Yep, you guys
something.
are good.
Man, we're crushing it.
All right. Yep. What is the name of Peele's production company for this film?
Monkey Paw
Monkey Paw.
Productions. Yep.
I love it. 5. You guys are this is all right. So that's 5 questions in. You got the first one wrong, and I think 4 right in a row.
That is a good production studio name. I gotta like
Okay. All right. What anime inspired Peele's alien designs in the
that
movie?
one's you, Eric.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yep. Yeah. I'm glad that you picked that up. And finally, the last question. What is the name of Ricky Jupe Park's theme park?
Oh, it's Jupiter's.
Jupiter's.
Something.
home.
I was. No, I complained about this halfway through the episode because I couldn't remember it. It was Jupiter's.
Don't cheat.
I keep thinking of Jupiter
Come on, what do
Ascending.
you got?
I know that's not a.
Dave's right. No,
that's-
yeah, Dave's right.
Jupiter's-
It's in there, Dave. What do you got? Come on. You could get 6 out of 7 right.
Jupiter's place.
it's something.
No.
It's something dumb like that though too. It's like Jupiter's Ranch. No, not Jupiter's Ranch. Jupiter's.
Hoedown.
No, not Corral or.
Hold on.
Oh man. Let me write it down and see if it works. Jupiter's.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
I've said it. I said it multiple times because I looked it up on the wiki because.
Ready? It is Jupiter's Claim.
Claim. Oh, I wouldn't have got that.
Oh,
Jupiter's Claim.
That's right. Jupiter's
good.
Claim. Fuck.
Well, either way, you guys did great. 5 out of 7.
All right.
That was fun.
Woohoo.
That was good. That was quick.
I had some of these facts that I wanted to throw out there, but you guys hit on them, and I was like, it was a long episode. Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Congratulations, guys. You both get to go to space camp. Hopefully you don't bump into this alien species, because that would not be good.
Oof.
That would, yes.
No, thank you. All right, we're ready to wrap us up?
I think so.
All right.
I think we're ready to get out of here.
Put a bow
Saddle
on
up, get on your horses.
All right, here we
or,
go.
Or electric bike if you want to.
Well, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram. You can visit the nomadsoffantasy.com for all your nomad needs. You can email us at nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com with comments, questions, all that good stuff. You can join our Discord at the nomadsoffantasy.com/discord if you want to chat with us. That's it. That's everything.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it.
Not too
All
bad.
right. Well,
Nice.
thank you for joining us for our discussion on Nope.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Let
Leave a review.
them know about what game, what map game.
Whatmapgame.com. If
Ask
you
a
wanna,
nomad a question.
Yeah, I'll get the Google form out there, or you can join our Discord, email us. Any of those ways are applicable. Next week we're watching Knives Out.
Oh, yeah.
So
Can't
that
wait
should
for
be a fun one.
It's a great one.
And I think with that, let's get out of here. Safe travels, Nomads.
Yeah.